Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Inspired Interviews. I have a very special guest today, all the way from Iowa. Dustin Beener is here with us today, and he's the president and owner of Brooks Concessions, a very famous turkey leg provider bringing love to the world. And this is definitely the reason that I wanted to talk to Dustin today is because, you know, it is Thanksgiving week, and we're excited about, my mind has been on turkey. I've been thinking about turkey. And last night I was doing dishes and I was thinking about turkey and I was like, oh my gosh, I know somebody who knows more about turkey than any human in the world. So Dustin is here. Welcome, Dustin.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Glad to have you. So I met Dustin. Dustin was a student leader at Central College in Pella, Iowa when we first met. Football player, involved in Greek life, supported lots of other activities on campus, supported the student activities organizations. And the reason that I met Dustin is that he showed up at one of my shows with friends and continued to be supportive of all of the other clubs and organizations on campus. So I really loved meeting you as a student, and I've loved knowing you over the years. And what was one of your most fond memories of Central College as a student?
Well, that is one of the best ones. You know, we always look for something to do on campus, and our student administration would give so much money for them to bring some concerts and things like that in town. And so we had you guys in there, and we were able to come over and, you know, sit down and relax and have a drink and listen to your music. It's definitely one of the best ones. But I'd say playing rugby and my Greek life, the Phi Delta Tau Brotherhood. We did a lot for campus. We learned a lot, and it ventured into the same business that I'm in now. You know, we did Mama Laqua. It was a spaghetti dinner for incoming freshmen. We did barbecue chicken dinners that we would be able to do as an alternative to the regular campus dinners, and those kind of things went right up my alley. Right.
Did you think that you were influential in that, or is that something that that attracted you to the club, or did you introduce that to your organizations?
We actually had a long running history of that. So I didn't introduce it, but I was able to attend it. And in a few younger years of mine, to experience that and see what it did for the campus and for the kids or the younger students that come on campus, giving them something to do, giving them a chance to mingle and seeing their faces when they're actually able to eat better quality food or different food.
Right. And so I mean, at the heart of all that is that you were bringing people together, right? You are definitely an advocate of community building and inclusivity and bringing people together. And did you know when you went to college, when you started college, that when you graduated college, that you'd become, that you would work for Brooks?
I always knew it'd have a little bit to do with it. My family had ran it for years, and so I grew up in the business and around it. But I intended on going into going into accounting or business management, or growing up do something different, possibly even become a police officer like my father was. But things changed.
Yeah, and he was a police officer in Des Moines, right?
Correct.
We're right in Des Moines. And you live in a city? Is it in Des Moines or next to Des Moines right now?
The greater Des Moines area. It's a suburb, Urbandale, Iowa, west.
Urbandale, and that is also where the Twisted Parrot was, right?
Very near there, Windsor Heights.
Windsor Heights. So another part of our history together is that for a bunch of years in there, Dustin owned a bar, and whenever I was in Iowa, I was lucky enough to go and play at the bar. And anyway, that's a whole nother topic for another time. We need to get into the history of your relationship with food, your knowledge about turkey, your relationship with turkey, and everything about, and we're going to talk numbers today, which I'm super excited about. And the numbers, I think, are one of the most amazing things. And I know we're leaving a little bit of mystery here. Let's go back in numbers, because you said that your family was involved in concessions. What exactly? I mean, it's not just they were involved in. Let's go back to 1913. Let's tell a little bit about the history.
Yeah, at Iowa State Fair in 1913, my great-grandparents started out in the cattle barns, and they did a cafeteria where my grandma had a 75-cent and a $1.25 all you can eat or your money back, satisfaction guaranteed. And they did a fish plate and Many common foods back then were just plate dinners, and that's what they offered to make sure that people were getting a good deal.
Right. People would come to the state fair, go see your great grandmother,
Yep.
and get a dinner or breakfast. Well, give us a little bit of history of the different foods over the years, and then when you ventured into turkey, because that's really where we're going to end up. We're ending up. We're gonna focus on turkey. But we want to know how we get to turkey.
We've always been involved in a lot of different foods.
Yeah.
Some concessionaires have many different trailers that are all the same foods, but we did the plate dinners in '56. We moved out to a satellite spot that we still have currently at the Iowa State Fair. It's a large cafeteria stand that's a temporary stick stand, which is made up of 2x4s, 4x4s with a canvas top, and we enclose the front end with glass and have all of our cookware and equipment. And we have a 1-ton stainless steel cafeteria line that we roll in.
Wow.
And then we serve plate dinners out of there, tenderloins, Polish sausage, hot dogs, footlongs, fresh roast beef that we slice every day, fresh baked beans that we cook just like my grandmother did years ago, 20 gallons at a time. And then we also have several other stands that we've set up around there, hamburger basket, French fries, Polish sausage, hot dogs, sauerkraut, onion, green pepper on it. We like to do all the fair favorites and to create the experience for everybody.
That's amazing. I'm getting hungry just listening to you. So when you're talking about the stick structure, you break it down you set it up and break it down every year, right?
Yeah, you go out there now and it's just grass, beautiful park at the Iowa State Fair. Yeah. And about 11 days before the state fair begins every year, we go out there and we lay everything out, set it up, wash it, repaint it, make it look like brand new again. And we seat 130 people, and about a day and a half after the Iowa State Fair, it's gone.
No kidding. And it's stored somewhere off site, right?
Yep, we take it, we store it back at our warehouse for a year and until the next year.
That's amazing. And that's, that's specifically for the Iowa State Fair. And I know that you're involved in other state fairs, Nebraska and Oklahoma. And when you go to those locations, how do you set up there?
Iowa State Fair, we have 3 trailers. We also have a couple tents that we set up, tent structures, but then those stick stands. Excuse me, when we go to the Nebraska Fair, we do take a couple of our stick stands. They're smaller units. Yeah. They're about 16 by 20. And then we have a couple trailers also. So going from Iowa to Nebraska, it's a feat. We got 2 days to tear down at Iowa and have everything off the fairgrounds. And then we have about 2 days to set up at Nebraska and be open on a Friday morning right after Iowa. And everything's going and the foods are sizzling.
The foods are sizzling and rocking. Let's jump into turkey. What was the first year? And this is like one of the conversations that we had about 10 years ago that blew me away. And so I'm going to get to the numbers, but you started turkey in was it 83?
Yeah, around 83, I believe. We started.
Your family started doing turkey legs. And what happened? How did that take off so fast?
It's the wow factor. People come out there to the state fair and they look for something new and unique every year. Right. And also of quality and staying power. Sometimes people come up with something that doesn't hang on, but turkey legs, we started it and they were only about a pound at that time, which doesn't sound like much, but it's a good amount of meat. Right. And
1 pound of meat on a stick, right?
Yeah, and we're throwing them on a grill and we got the smoke rolling. And so they see that and it entices them to come up there. Then they smell it. Yeah. And then they try it and it just becomes, they're hooked. And then each year, just through the years, the turkey legs have gotten bigger and bigger so that now they're, close to 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds. And so when people are walking around with this big hunk and chunk of meat in their hand, it catches people's eye. They're like, oh my gosh, look at that. I've got to have that. Right. And so it just kind of snowballs. And every year we do a better job of putting that product out. Right. And making it to go because they're great to reheat if you would like. And
oh, no kidding. Okay. Like, here's what I know. And I think this is amazing. And this is why we are getting an education today in American joy and American consumption and bringing people together over what I was thinking about yesterday was like your story about the Tulsa and MC Hammer. And I was thinking about it being in Tornado Alley you know, that Oklahoma is tornado. And I was thinking about how the shape of a turkey leg is like the shape of a tornado, right? Maybe this is an idea for next season, is that you sell a turkey-nado or a tornurkey.
That's a good idea.
And that you brand it that way. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, Iowa State Fair. Listen to this, friends, listening to this podcast. In one day, an average day of turkey sales is 1,275 turkey legs in a day. And the Iowa State Fair is 11 days. That is close to more than 14,000 turkey legs, individual sales of turkey legs. That's 14,000 satisfied turkey leg customers. How do you move 14,000 turkey legs? How do you do that?
It's a science. We've got a good staff, and turn the heat up high, get the smoke rolling, and it's kind of a catch-22. Once you start lighting that up and you're getting the food going, people, like I said, it entices them. The smell, the smoke, seeing us work the grills, and they just keep lining up, and it brings them in, and we put them out as fast as we can. Put smiles on people's faces, and
right. And you've got a special customer in Iowa, right? You've got a special customer. Tell me about that one guy.
We've got a guy that works just up at another stand every year, and he works 11 days of the fair, but the only thing he eats the entire fair is turkey legs, and he'll eat 10 to 12 a day if he's on his game.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of meat.
Yeah, he loves them.
He loves them
once a year, and he looks forward to Hardenbrook's turkey legs.
Hardenbrook's turkey legs. So this guy, like, maybe he doesn't eat for a month after the fair. Who knows? Like, maybe he's like a bear and he's just chowing down and hibernating. All right, hey, let's chat about MC Hammer Night.
We also do the Tulsa State Fair.
Yeah.
In the past, on Fridays, they would do the R&B or hip hop nights, and every once in a while they get some really good talent.
Yeah.
And the one year we heard that MC Hammer was going to be our Friday night concert.
Heck yeah.
Which, guys our age, pretty popular, something fun. So we knew if the weather was right, we were going to have a good night.
Right.
And we prepared for it. And man, was it a good night.
So this is the story of your record-breaking turkey leg moving day, right?
Yes.
2,720 is what you told me. 2,720. That is twice the number, more than twice the number that you do in a day at the Iowa State Fair. And in one day in Oklahoma, you tornadoed the town with turkey legs.
Yeah, we sat right in front of the concert venue there. People packed in around us, and man, he put on a good concert, and everybody had a blast. We lined the people up before the concert, during, and after. And it's great to see that activity, and especially on a year like this year we're dealing with, seeing how people enjoy that, and they get that night, and it's something they'll talk about for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Amazing. And okay, so another me being silly and inspired by this topic is that if you take two turkey legs and you turn them upside down so the big end is up, not only does it look like two tornadoes, but it looks like MC Hammer's pants.
Yeah. I'll share some pictures you can put on like your website or something.
That'd be great.
We took a picture of a guy that was dancing out in front. He had the gold pants on, up on a pillar, and it looks just like that.
It looks like turkey legs. Looks like turkey.
And we all had a pair of those pants, right, back then?
Yeah, I still have mine. I wear them. I'm actually wearing them right now. That's the beauty of podcasts and Zoom calls, is that nobody sees what's
right.
Whether or not you're even wearing pants, but MC Hammer pants are the ones that I'm wearing. And for all of you listening to this who don't have not yet been fortunate enough to have an MC Hammer experience, YouTube is full of beautiful MC Hammer videos, and don't stop there. Just go down that rabbit hole of beautiful music and dancing, and you will be happy. But today's not about MC Hammer. Today's about turkey and education, and I'm calling this sort of like an edu-turkey day. Turkeycation, edu-turkey, the tornado turkey. Are there any other nicknames that you've heard over the years for, like, maybe for you as a vendor of turkey legs, or the sales of things, or funny things that happen at the fair?
No, they just always ask for a a really good one, or the best one, or the biggest one, and they want it done well. And so we always tell them it's well done.
Yeah.
Or if they ask for it well done, we tell them it's done well. So it's, we do our best on their legs, and then they throw a little barbecue sauce on that.
Yeah.
Dig in. Some of the girls try to be shy and hide to take their first bite.
Right.
And somebody gets a picture of it.
Yeah, it's pretty shy when you're eating 2 pounds of meat on a bone. It's amazing. Hey, you have you grew up at going to the state fair because your family was creating this beautiful experience for the attendees. Tell me about your childhood at the state fair and a fond memory of that experience.
Growing up, riding my big wheel around, eating a donut, having an Italian grinder sandwich or a corn dog. It's always a fun one. But some of the things growing up in the business that I remember is at the Nebraska Fair, they used to have, how would I say, entertaining people in the midway.
Unique personalities, unique characters. Yeah.
And a lot of people weren't used to those kind of people being around. So at the end of the night, when everybody else would close down, we'd keep food on our grills, and we would have some of those people would come down. We had the bearded lady and the pretzel man, Popeye, you pop his eyes in and out. And so they used to call them the freak shows that they had. But these people traveled to shows, and that's how they made their money. But it was interesting to meet these people. And when I was a kid, now they're all retired and in Florida and take care of themselves. But it was definitely an experience.
Right. So you were a little kid, and you were meeting people who were very different from you and the people that you met at school and your family. And in that time, was it called the Midway? Is that what you called it?
Yeah.
So you would go to the Midway, and part of the Midway was what was called at the time the freak show, right?
Yeah. They had tenant structures, and people could go in there and pay a quarter to go in and see, a pig that had a deformity and different things like that. They kind of took advantage of those things at one point in time, but eventually that's how those people made money. Sure. And they were able to live in society in kind of a normal way.
We are amazed and intrigued by things that are different, right? And culturally, we've become more sensitive to how we speak about folks that are different. But our intrigue in that, okay, so here's what I'm thinking, is that the intrigue of something different is why turkey legs, because they're not something that you do the rest of the year.
Right. When you get a whole family dinner and they sit around and eat a turkey, there's 2 legs. Yeah. So whoever likes that dark meat usually takes that, or they might share it with one person, but it's not something everybody gets. And when you taste that dark meat at your dinner table, it's not the same as a turkey leg. When they're smoked and cured, it tastes a little more like ham, and it changes its color. It's a little pinkish, but it's saltier, but it is tasty. And but people go to the fair, and then not to see 10 turkey legs on a grill, but to see 500 turkey legs on a grill and stacked up, right? And that's the smoke coming.
Well, that volume. That's the intrigue. That's the draw. That's part of the draw, right? I mean, yes, it's amazing. It's an amazing product. It tastes great. It's smoked, which is something you wouldn't get like at Thanksgiving. But sort of, I'm sort of making this connection that we are drawn towards things that we can't otherwise get the rest of the year, and that's maybe why I'm making this connection to the folks that you remembered as a little kid. Right, that exposure to the bearded lady and the unique people that you got to meet. What an amazing experience! Do you think that impacted the way that you were more accepting of people who were different than you through the rest of your life?
Absolutely. My family's always been friends with all different social groups of people, from the highest to the lowest, and so when I see somebody, you never judge the book by the cover. You definitely get to know them, and you're intrigued by different things that are good and bad by them, and what they do with their lives and what they choose to do. And it is interesting, but it's definitely a different side to judging a person than what you would normally just growing up, going to school and college, and then going back right into a job. I get to see different people every year, and
I bet. Yeah.
large amounts of them.
Large amounts of interesting people. I mean, the state fair is, I mean, do you know the numbers of attendees from year to year? What's
Iowa and Oklahoma, they get over 1 million people every year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That in itself is intriguing.
Right. That in itself is amazing that it draws that many people. Yeah. But, hey, so this last summer, obviously COVID has changed the face of that, but you managed to create events in spite of social distancing, in spite of the pandemic. Tell me a little bit about that.
Once things calmed down after the first, I'd say, flare up, I guess, in March, April, May,
Yeah.
we started tentatively planning some events. And I mean, they were ready to cancel them at any point in time, these state fairs and different organizations. But we were able to throw together something that people were ready at that time to get out, be safe, but they wanted their fair food. They wanted their turkey legs. They wanted a corn dog. And so we were able to put together a few shows, Iowa State Fair, Nebraska, Tulsa, Oklahoma, a couple county fairs around here in Iowa.
Yeah.
And let people come out there and enjoy it. And they stayed safe. They held their 6 foot.
Yeah.
They weren't in huge groups. And they'd go over and sit at their truck or car for a little while with their families and eat a fair food item and then come back up and grab something else. So they enjoyed it.
So good. You were still able to create an event that families could enjoy. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, have you thought about writing a memoir of your life in the state fairs?
We have. There's a lot of good stories.
I know, right? I'm sure. I mean, I wonder what is it like when the sun goes down, right? It's different at night, isn't it, at the state fair than when the sun is up?
It is. Depending on the fair, each fair is a little different in what their attitude is. But speaking of the Iowa Fair, from where we've been since 1913, at night people get off work or even on the weekends, and the lights go down. It's magic, actually, to me, because during the days you can see the sights and sounds, but during the night, when those lights come on in the carnival areas, on the big rides, and you hear the hooting and howling of kids going up and down a slide, and seeing the people walk around with an ice cold beer and a hot corn dog, and a huge turkey leg. It's just an experience of almost euphoria. They really enjoy it. And then as we grow older and we take our kids out there and they get to enjoy that, run around a little bit in a park and see all these people and have these foods and cotton candy, that's all they wait for the next year. They're like, when's the fair start again? So they can go out there. And so those nights that's the best. It's just like magic.
It's like a holiday. You're working, but an attendee, it's like Christmas, but 11 days of it, right? It's just.
But even for us that work it out there, the families, there's a lot of good families out there that we've done it for years.
Oh, right.
That's our holiday too. Granted, yes, that's where we make our money, but we really thoroughly enjoy creating that experience for everybody that comes out there.
Sure. Oh, that's so cool. Moving forward, we are today. Okay, so just today is Thursday before Thanksgiving. So while we're having this conversation, do you eat turkey at Thanksgiving?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've got them thawing out right now, getting them ready. So I'm gonna do a fried one again this year. It's been a few years since I've done that.
Right.
Be safe about it, but the juiciness of them are just amazing, especially the turkey legs.
Yeah, I just think it's great that you have a life in turkey, and then you're still even just listening to you talk about it, your excitement for the meal, right?
People ask every year, do you guys eat your own food? I'm like, absolutely. And one of our old stands in 1927 had a sign in the back that said, even the boss eats here. So about 10 years ago, I had one painted up for me, and I put it up in our cafeteria stand. And every once in a while, maybe 1 or 2 people a day that see it, that comment, they're like, oh, look at that. Even the boss eats you. That's cute, But it's the truth, because the first thing I eat in the morning is a burnt Polish sausage with sauerkraut, onion, green pepper. Again, I only get that a couple times a year, and so it tastes so damn good. I got to have it.
Right. You got to do it.
Yeah.
you know, someday you can aspire to be like the guy that eats 10 to 12 turkey legs.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for your time today. I'm excited to catch up with you and to come visit Iowa in the years to come. I'll definitely going to make that part of my schedule. I've you know that I work at a summer camp, and it really it fills my summer with great joy that I get to be in one location instead of touring like I normally do. But I think I'm going to take a year one of these years and maybe apply for a job working at one of your locations.
Yeah, I think we talked about quite a while ago. I'd be able to get you out there on stage just to come and I mean, just like the excitement we talk about,
Right.
that you've experienced that the way you have just by hearing about it and thinking about it. But to be able to come out there and then sing songs like you guys do, and
yeah, it'd be great to come out there with the band.
Great, but I think we've talked at your camps usually about the same time in August. Second week in August.
But you know what? You know, last summer was my 30th year at the camp, and my director might give me a hall pass one year. He might say, you know what, Jason, you've earned it. Take a week off. Go to Iowa.
Hall pass. Does your family give you the hall pass too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you know, now they're camper age, so they're busy. They don't notice me. They don't even.
And I'll tell you what. If you ever decided to, and you come there, we'll get a camper. We'll rent it for you and the spot.
Oh
so
man,
you guys have that taken care of. And the nice thing about that fairgrounds at the Iowa State Fair is that you've got tractors. They'll take you, trams to take you up into the campgrounds, bring you back down. So once you come down there, the kids and the wife can do what they want to do. You can do what you want to do.
This is the best interview I've ever done.
Oh, you'll love it. It's amazing.
Thanks, Dustin. That's so much fun. Well, I'm amazed and inspired by the number of people that you've impacted over your life. In really, you're in the service industry, literally serving every customer. And so, if you put it in that perspective, at 14,000 customers just in Iowa alone, you've had a huge impact in the world. So thanks so much for all your hard work and spreading turkey legs around the country.
Serve with a smile.
Service with a smile. It's awesome to see you. Have a great rest of the day, and let's catch up soon.
Absolutely.
All right, bye-bye. Bye.